So, with AI now able to screen like thousands of CVs in seconds, why are companies still paying these massive fees to traditional recruitment agencies?
Yeah, that is the big question right now, isn't it?
It really is. And today we're doing a deep dive into a really fascinating industry piece by one Nathan Davis titled, Why Pay Recruiters in the Age of AI?
Which is such a timely piece.
Totally. Because if you are a sales leader, a hiring manager, or an executive listening to this, your main goal is building high-performing revenue teams. And the landscape for doing that is just, it's shifting beneath our feet.
Right, and we're seeing this play out in real time. I mean, look at the big UK recruitment firms, right? You've got giants like Hayes, Page Group, Robert Walters. They've all recently reported significantly weaker hiring
Yeah,
activity.
I saw those numbers.
Yeah.
And, the standard surface level excuse everyone gives is just economic uncertainty.
Exactly. But the Smartic revenue leaders,
Yeah.
no, that's just scratching the surface. There is a much deeper technology-driven shift happening right now.
Right. It's a profound shift because it's not a question of whether AI will influence talent acquisition anymore. It already dominates the workflow.
Oh, absolutely. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
The real issue, the thing that's actually keeping hiring managers awake at night is figuring out where human judgment fits into the puzzle when a machine can do like 90% of the heavy lifting.
Well, let's talk about that heavy lifting because when
Yeah.
you look at the automation of the recruitment process today, it is mind-blowing what applicant tracking systems, ATS platforms are handling.
It really is staggering.
We're talking about writing job descriptions, publishing vacancies across 50 different platforms at once, scraping global talent databases.
Ranking applications, too.
Right. Ranking them, scheduling the interviews, sending out automated follow-ups. Basically, what used to take a human HR coordinator, 3 weeks, it now takes an algorithm about 4 minutes.
Which, is incredibly seductive for a business.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, it's faster, it's infinitely scalable, and it drastically reduces administrative overhead. But, and this is the big, but this massive leap in efficiency has exposed a really dangerous illusion.
And what's that illusion?
That businesses are confusing processing candidates with actually evaluating them.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a huge distinction.
It is. If a traditional agency's primary offering historically was just, giving you a stack of CVs, essentially just selling process,
Yeah.
then they are obsolete.
Because finding people is just the easiest part of the equation now, right? I mean, thanks to platforms like LinkedIn, anyone can find a candidate.
Exactly. Finding them isn't the challenge anymore. Understanding which talent is actually right for your specific commercial environment is the hard part.
I kind of think of the current state of AI and recruitment like hiring a world-class administrative assistant.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
Like they can file paperwork at the speed of light. Their calendar management is flawless. They literally never lose a document.
Right.
But they are a terrible lie detector.
Right.
Like say the AI scans a CV and it sees the phrase 150% quota attainment.
Which sounds great on paper.
Right. So the ATS immediately ranks that candidate at the very top of the pile. But the AI has zero context. It doesn't know that that 150% attainment was only because the candidate's territory was basically handed to them on a silver platter by a departing senior rep.
Yeah, and that is the core vulnerability of algorithmic screening right there. A CV is just, well, it's basically just a historical ledger.
A ledger, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, it presents job titles, dates, bulleted responsibilities.
Yeah.
But it completely hides the critical success factors.
Like what, specifically?
Like how someone actually performs under pressure. AI cannot measure how a salesperson influences internal stakeholders to get a complex deal pushed through procurement.
Right, the stuff that actually gets the deal closed.
Exactly. It can't assess resilience during a brutal market downturn. And crucially, this is something people overlook, algorithmic screening actively punishes outliers.
Wait, hold on. Unpack that for me. How does it punish outliers? Aren't these systems designed to find, the best possible match?
Well, they're designed to find the safest statistical match based on historical data.
Okay.
So imagine a candidate who took a very non-traditional path. Maybe they spent, say, 2 years failing at their own startup before moving into enterprise sales.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
Right. And that failure built immense grit, deep commercial awareness, and this incredible ability to empathize with a founder's pain points.
Which is exactly what you want in a salesperson.
Exactly. A human specialist looks at that background and thinks, wow, this person has unmatched entrepreneurial drive. But the AI looks at the CV, sees a non-standard job title and a gap in traditional corporate progression, and it just instantly filters them out.
Because it doesn't fit the perfect mold.
Right. By optimizing for the average, these automated systems often screen out your absolute top revenue generators.
But let me push back on that for a second, just playing devil's advocate for the executives listening right now. Because we aren't just dealing with basic keyword scanners anymore, right? We have advanced large language models now, like GPT-4 and whatever comes next. They can analyze semantic context. They can literally read between the lines of a cover letter. So why can't we just train a model to evaluate that grit and resilience you were talking about?
Because an LLM evaluates the presentation of the data, not the reality of the behavior. I mean, an AI can parse a beautifully written story about resilience on a cover letter, but it cannot verify if the candidate actually possesses that trait, or if they just, use their own AI to write a great story about resilience.
Which everyone is doing right now anyway.
Exactly. The AI cannot pick up on the microexpressions, the hesitation, or the defensive posture a candidate takes when a human interviewer actually challenges their narrative face-to-face.
And when you miss those subtle behavioral cues, the cost is just astronomical. I know we always talk generally about like, oh, bad hires cost money, but for the sales leaders tuning in, it's so much worse than that. It's not just the sunk cost of a base salary. A bad sales hire actively burns your total addressable market.
They absolutely do. They ruin relationships with top-tier prospects that your marketing team probably spent 3 years cultivating.
Yep. They completely destroy trust in the market.
And internally, it's just as bad. They drain team performance because your top performers start looking for the exit when they're forced to work alongside underperformers.
Oh, 100%. And think about the management time wasted. Managers end up spending like 70% of their week trying to coach someone who simply doesn't have the commercial DNA for the role in the first place.
It's a nightmare. A delayed hire just means you grow a little slower this quarter. The wrong hire actively puts the entire business in reverse.
Which means generalist AI screening isn't just insufficient, it's an actual liability if you leave it unchecked.
Without a doubt.
So, if we agree that a CV is full of blind spots and the stakes are this incredibly high, it totally changes the mandate for external recruitment. We have to move past just finding candidates and move toward exercising highly specialized commercial judgment.
And this is exactly where the philosophy of these sales experts comes into play.
Right.
They focus entirely on complex commercial hiring across deeply nuanced sectors, things like tech, AI, manufacturing, FMCG, telecom, because in sales, context is absolutely everything.
Okay, let's test that context for a second. Suppose I have a commercial director who just absolutely crushed it at their last job. We are talking phenomenal numbers, massive growth at a SaaS startup. They are a proven winner on paper. Why can't I just take that person and drop them into a leadership role at, say, a traditional manufacturing business? I mean, sales is sales, right?
That couldn't be further from the truth. Yeah, I mean, think about it. Your SaaS director is accustomed to a highly agile environment.
Yeah.
They probably had access to unlimited tech budgets, rapid product pivots, a dedicated sales enablement team, and a highly transactional, high-margin product.
Right. They have all this infrastructure supporting them.
Exactly. But if you drop them into a traditional manufacturing business or even FMCG, fast-moving consumer goods, the entire landscape completely changes.
How so?
Well, manufacturing often deals with razor-thin margins. You have legacy supply chains, and the sales cycles are deeply rooted in decade-long relationships rather than just, cool software features.
That's a totally different dynamic.
Completely different. The pace, the resource structure, the buyer psychology, it's entirely alien to them. If you just drop them in there, they will drown.
And a generalized ATS platform isn't going to flag that environmental mismatch at all. It just sees VP of sales, sees the quota attainment, and gives a green light.
Exactly. Furthermore, AI is fundamentally just a yes man.
A yes man.
Yeah. I mean, imagine an executive board feeds an impossible job specification into an automated system. Say they want 10 years of experience in a software language that's only existed for 4 years.
Which happens all the time.
Right. And they want this person at half the market salary. The AI won't argue. It will just blindly search the database until it fails. It'll return 0 results, and the company will just assume, oh, there's a talent shortage.
Wow. While a human specialist, like a true recruitment partner, will look the CEO in the eye and actually push back.
They will push back hard. A real specialist will sit across the table and say, look, your specification is a unicorn that doesn't exist. And furthermore, Your cumbersome 6-round interview process is actively driving top candidates straight into the arms of your competitors.
That's the reality check companies need.
Exactly. Technology automates the search process, but humans provide the necessary friction. And that strategic friction is what keeps the business grounded in commercial reality.
So, how do we actually execute this? We've talked a lot about the limitations of the software and why human judgment is necessary, but I want to give the listener the actual mechanisms here.
Okay, let's do it.
How do the smartest revenue teams combine AI's rapid research capabilities with human insight to guarantee long-term sales success?
Well, this brings us directly to the specific, actionable frameworks outlined by the sales experts.
Perfect. Where do we start?
The first major mechanism is a complete shift in operational mindset, which they've structured within their 5-stage sales team scaling system.
Let's break down that 5-stage system, because usually the immediate instinct when a rep leaves is just pure panic.
Oh, absolutely.
The manager just says, get me another account executive, same title, same territory by next Tuesday.
And that knee-jerk reaction is the first stage of failure. The very first stage of this scaling system requires you to stop replacing and start designing.
Stop replacing, start designing. I like that.
Right. You don't ask who can do the job the last person did. You ask what specific behaviors in commercial networks do we need to reach our revenue goals 3 years from now. You have to define the hiring requirement based strictly on forward-looking growth objectives.
Makes total sense. So what happens in stage 2?
Stage 2 is structural alignment. Before you even look at a single candidate, you have to honestly analyze your own commercial structure.
Like the compensation plans.
Exactly. Is your comp plan actually aligned with the behavior you want to drive? If you say you want hunters who go out and win net new logos, but your commission structure heavily rewards just managing existing accounts.
And then you're going to hire a hunter and turn them into a farmer within 3 months.
Precisely. You get what you pay for.
That happens all the time. The comp plan actively sabotages the job description. So once the structure is actually aligned, where does stage 3 take us?
Stage 3 is deep market mapping. Now, this is where AI actually shines.
Okay, so we're bringing the tech back in.
Yes. You use the automation to map out the entire talent landscape. You go far beyond just the active job seekers on job boards to identify passive talent. Then stage 4 is the execution and evaluation phase, which is crucial, and we'll dive into that in a second.
It's stage 5.
Stage 5 is integration. Not just standard HR onboarding, but a structured retention plan to ensure the candidate actually achieves the ROI you mapped out back in stage 1.
So you're building an ecosystem, not just filling in empty desks.
Exactly.
I want to zoom in on that 4th stage, though, the actual evaluation phase.
Yeah.
Because this is really where the rubber meets the road.
It is.
If a CV hides the truth and AI can't measure behavior, how do hiring managers actually uncover those critical success factors during a human interview?
By using a rigorous methodology. The sales experts call this the Sales Hunter Intelligence Evaluation.
Okay, and what does that entail?
It's a framework designed to ruthlessly assess transferable success. You have to evaluate very specific criteria beyond what's written on the resume. The buyer profile they're used to, the sales cycle complexity, and most importantly, the lead generation model.
Let's focus on that lead generation model for a second, because this feels like a massive trap for hiring managers.
It's a huge trap.
How do you actually test for hunting ability in an interview without just asking, are you a self-starter? Which literally everyone will just say yes to.
Right. You never ask a candidate to self-assess their own traits. That's useless. Instead, you ask them to reverse engineer their pipeline.
Reverse engineer it. How so?
For example, a hiring manager using this framework won't ask if they are good at lead generation. They will say, walk me step by step through a mid-market deal you closed last quarter where you generated the initial prospect entirely on your own.
Oh, that's specific.
Very. Do not tell me what the SDR team did. Tell me your exact outreach sequence, how you bypassed the gatekeepers, and what the specific trigger event was that got you the meeting.
That is fantastic, because if a salesperson is used to a cushy inbound lead generation environment where marketing just, hands them warm prospects all day long,
they will immediately stumble on that question.
Right. They won't have the granular details of the hunt.
Exactly. Or consider evaluating something like stakeholder management. An algorithm just sees managed complex enterprise deals on a resume and checks a box.
Right.
But a human evaluator, using this framework, asks, tell me about a deal you lost in the final stages because you failed to identify a hidden detractor in the procurement department.
Ooh, That's a tough question.
It is. What did you miss, and how did it change your discovery process on the very next deal?
Oh, man, that exposes everything. It exposes their ego, their accountability, and their actual process. Because if they just blame the client or complain about their company's pricing model, right then and there, they lack the self-awareness to grow in your organization.
Exactly. You are testing commercial behavior and cultural alignment in real time. You are verifying if they have the specific agility required for your market.
That makes so much sense.
And the beauty of this entire approach is that it doesn't reject technology. It embraces it.
Right. We aren't telling executives to go back to paper resumes and metal filing cabinets. We are saying, let the ATS handle the logistical mountain.
Yes.
Let the AI publish the job, let it parse the raw data, let it schedule the Microsoft Teams links, clear away all that administrative noise so your human leaders can focus 100% of their cognitive energy on behavioral and commercial evaluation.
It is the synthesis of machine efficiency and human nuance that creates the ultimate competitive advantage in the market today.
So if we pull all of these threads together, what is the core lesson for the revenue leaders listening to us right now?
The overarching takeaway is that the future of talent acquisition is not a battle of AI versus recruiters.
It's not a zero-sum game.
No, that is a false dichotomy created by tech vendors who are just trying to sell you software. The reality is that technology accelerates the speed of hiring, but human specialists improve the actual quality of the hiring decisions.
Yeah. AI handles the process. Humans handle the insight. Because at the end of the day, technology simply cannot automate trust. It cannot automate commercial judgment. And it certainly cannot look at a complex market dynamic and instinctively know how a specific human personality is going to perform within it.
And relying solely on automation to build your revenue engine.
Yeah.
That is essentially gambling with your company's future.
Absolutely. So if you are an executive, a hiring manager, or a sales leader listening to this, and you want to ensure you are building resilient, high-performing teams, you cannot afford to be a victim of the AI illusion.
You really can't.
I highly encourage you to take action and explore these frameworks in depth. You can optimize your own revenue engine and guarantee long-term sales success by visiting thesalesexperts.com.
It's a great resource.
It really is. Just head over to the site to see how applying these deeply human evaluations can elevate your entire commercial structure. No phone numbers to call, no emails to send. Just visit thesalesexperts.com and check out the frameworks for yourself.
Because it really comes down to taking control of the nuance that software simply cannot replicate.
Completely agree. But as we wrap up today's deep dive, I want to leave you, the listener, with a final, somewhat provocative thought to chew on regarding where this whole automation arms race is actually heading.
Well, it should be good.
Well, think about it. If AI becomes perfectly capable of matching a candidate's buzzwords to your company's automated job description, how long will it be before candidates start using their own AI to interview with your AI?
Wow.
Right. Are we heading toward a future where the actual humans are completely left out of the loop until day one on the job?
When the machines are just talking to the machines, the companies that actually retain human judgment will be the only ones left standing.
Something to really think about next time you open a CV.